A few weeks ago, I was eating Shabbat lunch at this amazing family's house. And often in Jewish families, we'll do something called an icebreaker, which is a question that usually the host of the house will ask that gets everyone to know each other. This particular family always asks the most amazing questions. These are the questions that really make you think, and you really want to hear what everyone else has to say. So at this Shabbat lunch, the question was, which was asked by the hostess, she asked, what is your favorite mitzvah and why? What is the one mitzvah or good deed that you feel that you embody most? So we were going around the table, and I didn't know what I was going to say because there's so many mitzvot that I do connect to quite well, but I couldn't figure out what was the one that really represented me. And so as my turn came closer, I suddenly realized what I was wearing on my head and the one thing that I love most, which is covering my hair. And I have to say, I truly, truly love covering my hair, and it's something I never would have expected from myself. I just thought I'd get married and I'd cover my hair and I'd do my best to enjoy it, but I never would have predicted how liberating it was and how amazing it was going to make me feel about myself and how passionate I would be about it. So when my turn came, I talked about it. And when I said how much I love covering my hair, I realized how many women don't love covering their hair and how many women don't really feel like this mitzvah represents who they are, and how many women struggle to try to figure out what works best for them or best for their community. So I want to make this video just talking about why I love covering my hair, why I cover my hair in the first place, and hopefully get a message out to women that you too can really, really embrace this mitzvah and love covering your hair. The source for this mitzvah in the Torah is brief but powerful. It's only mentioned once, and it's in Bamidbar, when the Torah talks about a sotah, which is a woman who has cheated on her husband and been with another man. And they talk about this whole process that she goes to in order to determine if she is guilty or innocent. And the greatest shame that the woman is put through is that the court will take off her hair covering as a way to humiliate her and change her status. Now, when I read this before I got married, I said, okay, this is a good source for covering a woman's hair. But I feel like only now I really truly understand the implications and the intensity of what happens to this woman. Right now, when I imagine uncovering my hair in public, I have had nightmares about my tichel coming off in public. And because my hair right now is something between me and my husband, it's not for anyone else. It's not for public consumption. So I can't imagine, that humiliation that a woman would feel. So a married woman covers her hair because her hair, once she becomes married, becomes something that's between her and her husband. When a queen goes out of her house, she puts on her crown. But when she comes back to her house, she takes off her crown, and then she can truly be with her husband. For most of my life, I was known as the blonde cellist. Whenever anyone would describe me, those are the words they would use. And I have blonde hair, and it's, I guess, very attention-grabbing, and many people noticed it. Yet I never felt like my blonde hair really defined me. I mean, yes, it's very beautiful and lovely, and I'm very blessed to have such nice hair. But it didn't really say anything about me and who I was and who I wanted to be. When someone would call me a cellist, that was okay, because that was something I worked for. When someone would call me religious, that was also okay, because that is something I worked really hard for. But the hair really wasn't something I wanted to be known for. So for me to finally cover it was so, so liberating. I covered it and I felt like I could really be who I was and be noticed for the things that I wanted to be noticed for the things I want to give to the world. And I felt like finally my hair wasn't going to be a distraction. So that's really the biggest reason why I love covering my hair. For some other reasons, I feel like royalty when I'm wearing this crown on my head. I feel like such a proud, beautiful Jewish woman. And when I go out of the house, I feel like I'm representing my people and I'm representing what I want to represent. It's a lot of fun because it's a completely new wardrobe. I have a huge drawer full of tichels, and I have some hanging in my closet, taking over my husband's space. And it's a lot of fun to I match my outfits to my scarves now. I don't pick out my outfit before my scarf. So it's a lot of fun to do that as well. Don't judge me or don't label me is something that you'll hear from teenagers and is a generally accepted norm in society that we should not judge and label people. But the fact is that when I see someone, I am going to say, okay, she's a human being, or he's a business person, or tall, short, this or that. We do live in a physical world, and therefore we do have to categorize and organize the physical things that we are encountered with. And therefore we do have to label people somewhat. Even if I say someone is an amazing person or a good giving person, that's still a label. So the question is, because we have to label each other somehow, is what labels do we want to be known for? So, as I said before, I was the blonde cellist, and that was not a label I wanted to be noticed for. Now that I'm known as the scarf lady or the tichel lady, that means I'm a proud Jewish woman. That means I have an amazing marriage with my husband. That means so many things that I actually want to give to the world and portray. So, yes, I have a new label, but it's one that I actually really love. There's a halachic obligation for Jewish married women to cover their hair. However, how they cover their hair is a completely different story. As you've probably seen in my website, there are many, many different ways for women to cover their hair. Some use wigs, some use scarves, some use hats, big sun hats, everything. So a lot of this is personal choice. A lot of this has to do with what social situation a woman is going to encounter. A lot of it has to do with the community that you live in. Some communities say that a woman should definitely wear a wig because it will cover more of her hair, and if she wears a scarf, she's likely to stop wearing a scarf. I don't really understand that because I don't feel that way, but some people really do feel that way. Some say that scarves are more appropriate. Some say that hats are more appropriate. In the summer, a woman might want to cover her face a bit because she doesn't want to get sunburned. So there are many, different opinions about what a woman should cover her hair with, but the bottom line is that she should cover her hair. As much as I say that covering your hair is a personal choice and any woman can do whatever they want, it's obvious that I cover my hair in scarves and I feel more connected to scarves. So why is that? Well, first of all, I'm a creative person and it's really fun and creative to figure out what I want to do with my scarf every day. I feel like it's a whole new way to express myself. I feel like it really suits my face. I feel totally beautiful. I feel like a queen. I love it for that reason. Another reason is that I want the world to know that I'm a married Jewish woman. I want to know personally that I look like a married Jewish woman. I don't want to look like my normal self. And the fact is that if I wanted to look like my real normal self with my blonde hair, I would have to spend a lot of money to get a sheitel with hair like my hair. And I don't want to spend that money. Plus, I don't want to look like my old unmarried self because I want people to know that I have an amazing marriage and that I have an amazing husband and that my hair is not for public consumption, that my hair is for behind closed doors and for him. So some women prefer to blend in more to society. For me, I don't mind sticking out for a good reason. I don't want to stick out for a wrong reason. I don't want to throw it in people's faces or anything like that. But I don't mind sticking out and being different. Judaism and the Torah is about so much more than just telling us what to do and how to act. Each mitzvah that the Torah tells us is an infinite opportunity to connect with yourself, to connect with others, to constantly deepen and beautify your connection with your Creator. So don't just cover your hair because you have to. I mean, cover your hair. But realize that this is an opportunity for you to enhance your marriage, for you to bring Judaism and beauty into the world, for you to feel truly like the queen that you are. So don't sell yourself short. Figure out a way to make this mitzvah yours. We live in a world today that often sees commitment and modesty as a subjugation of women. Now, very often that can be the case, but in my case and in so many other Jewish women's cases, being modest and being private about the things that are most important it's absolutely the most liberating thing that someone can do, is to take something so beautiful and important and use it in the right place. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. A wonderful week ahead, and Kol Tuv.